Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Shows Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 5 start and sit video for the quarterback position. Now we are talking the first week of a bye. So we've got 4 teams that are not playing this week, so you've got to be able to pay attention to that. Again, have some fillers. If you guys haven't already, check out our waiver wire video to help you guys with quarterbacks you may want to pick up this week to help you guys there. And again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the notification bell is on. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, which we are about 20 away at the time of this recording, we'll be doing a jersey giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Now, these are your obvious quarterbacks that you should be playing. There's not many here. There are a little bit more in depth I'm going to do in this video, but these are your obvious quarterbacks you should be playing this week based off matchup and, of course, consistency. Now, the teams that are on bye, you've got the Browns, Chargers, Seahawks, and Bucks. So again, Herbert's out, Watson's out, Geno, and Baker. So if you don't have a quarterback to fill in, again, check out those waivers. Now, the first quarterback I'm going to mention as a good start is going to be Sam Howell versus the Bears. Sam came off a great game against the Eagles, almost with the upset. He finished with 17 points and is going against a Bears team that allowed Russell Wilson to come back with a win and 3 touchdowns. Bears are allowing 25 points a game to the quarterback and over 270 yards in the air. Look for Sam Howell to take advantage of this weak pass defense. I think it'd be a nice little Thursday game. No one's really looking forward to this matchup, but for fantasy purposes, this is a good one for Sam Howell. Now, another quarterback I like this week is going to be Jordan Love versus the Raiders. Love didn't have his best game, but was still able to put up 246 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air and 1 on the ground. His 2 interceptions definitely affected his fantasy performance, but he still has been really good this season. He has a matchup against the Raiders from Monday night that has allowed 22 points to quarterbacks and 2 touchdowns per game. This is really good game for Love to really come back. He should have a healthy Watson or healthier Watson, Dobbs, hopefully an Aaron Jones. So I really like Jordan Love this week. Now, the next quarterback I have is Anthony Richardson versus the Titans. Now, Titans did just keep, really Joe Burrow to 9 points, but let's be honest, Joe Burrow is not himself. This Cincinnati Bengals offense looks horrendous. Richardson just came back from his concussion, put up 32 points with 3 total touchdowns and 56 yards on the ground. Richardson has averaged 22 points a game and just over a touchdown a game on the ground as well. Titans, prior to playing against the Joe Burrow, they allowed 22 points a game and 300 yards in the air. Titans defense is really good against the run. They are not great against the pass. And who knows what's going to happen with this whole Jonathan Taylor situation. If JT plays, I think that only boosts Anthony Richardson this week. I do like him. Now, another quarterback is Matthew Stafford versus the Eagles. Philly has not been good at stopping the pass. They're allowing 24 points a game to the quarterback. Stafford is going into a game that is going to be a tough one and should have to play catch up against Philly. But again, one thing you've got to be concerned with, Stafford is dealing with a hip and ankle injury, and this is something to really keep an eye on. He may not play, but if he does, I think he still has a chance to put up over 300 yards and possibly a touchdown or 2. Again, if you're desperate for quarterback, I like Stafford this week. Now, the last quarterback I'm going to mention is CJ Stroud versus the Falcons. Stroud has been on fire and will most likely end up being the clear-cut rookie of the year. He has been averaging over 300 yards in the air and just under 2 touchdowns a game. One thing not enough people are talking about is how smart he has been playing. He's yet to throw an interception, knock on wood, and he looks really good. Falcons have not been great stopping quarterbacks. Falcons have given up 22 points a game and just under 2 touchdowns. Again, this is a really good matchup for CJ Stroud. He was definitely one of those players you should be grabbing in waivers. Now, as far as my sits go, first quarterback's Dak Prescott versus the 49ers. So 49ers haven't been the best at stopping quarterbacks. I will give that. They're allowing 17 points a game, which isn't, it's about average, but I'm nervous for Dak. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the O-line for Dallas is really banged up. Who knows who's going to end up playing? And that is my biggest concern when you're going to have to go against Nick Bosa in that defense. And really, the 49ers are only allowing a touchdown a game to quarterback. So maybe Dak Prescott gets that 1 TD, but I'm not expecting a huge game out of him. Now, you may have to start him, especially if you're super deep leagues or if you're 2 QB man, like dynasty, super flex, those type of things. Yeah, sure, you're going to play him, but in just standard redraft, I'm looking at possibly sitting him and going somewhere else. Another quarterback I'm sitting is Trevor Lawrence versus the Bills. Lawrence has looked average, and even against the Falcons, where they were averaging 22 points to quarterbacks, he only put up 16. Bills have been tough against quarterbacks and only allowing 13 points a game and keeping quarterbacks under 200 yards passing. Lawrence will have to be lights out to have a possible chance. I just don't see it happening against the Buffalo Bills, who've been on fire since their loss against the Jets. They look really good. Their defense looks really good. Trevor Lawrence is definitely a quarterback I'm sitting. Another one is Derek Carr versus the Patriots. Carr's shoulder injury definitely showed up for sure. Carr struggled, and that was even with Alvin Kamara coming back, who was successful in fantasy avenue, but not necessarily in the game. Kamara just didn't look very efficient. Now Carr's going against the Patriots team that has only allowed 14 points a game. Patriots are keeping quarterbacks under a touchdown a game. They're a lot more efficient. Now, I will say this to give Carr maybe some chance this week is the fact that the Patriots are going to be missing Matt Judon and Gonzalez, their stud cornerbacks. So maybe there's a chance that Carr has some success, but his shoulder injury is definitely a concern. And the Patriots are usually really good at stopping their best player, which is going to be something they're going to focus on with Kamara and Olave. So Carr at this point, who has struggled, I'm not starting. Another quarterback I'm not starting this week is going to be Kirk Cousins. Going against the Chiefs. Prior to letting Zach Wilson put up 21 points on Sunday night, the Chiefs have only allowed 14 points a game to the quarterbacks. Having Chris Jones back has definitely been helpful. In case he's keeping quarterbacks to 203 yards passing, Kirk has been forced to throw the ball a lot because realistically that run offense hasn't looked great. They did have a good run game this past weekend, but Kirk is just throwing like crazy. He's really been the only one that's been efficient. Now, Kansas City, has been pretty tough against them. And realistically, when Kirk Cousins went against a tough defense pass-wise against Carolina, he was held to 9 points and threw 2 interceptions. Do I expect the 2 interception performance? No, not necessarily, but I do expect him to be average. Maybe 12, 13 points in this matchup. Now, the last quarterback you may want to consider sitting is Brock Purdy versus the Cowboys. Dallas has kept quarterbacks to 13 points a game and now faces Purdy, who has looked really good. You got to give him his credit. He's looked pretty good this season. Dallas will look to get their revenge, obviously based off of what happened. As a Dallas fan, I'm looking forward to this. Is definitely the game of the week. And they're going to put pressure on Purdy. Hopefully, the defensive line gets to the quarterback. With that said, Dallas is keeping quarterbacks under 170 passing yards. They're leading the league in stopping the pass. They have a really good pass rush defense, which is where they have stood out. Purdy, if he's going to have a chance, is going to have to lean on Christian McCaffrey to have any possible resemblance of a good fantasy week. I'm a little nervous starting him. Now, my sleepers, I'm going to have Joe Burrow versus the Cardinals. This could be a nice bounce back for Burrow. He will be missing T. Higgins, which is huge, but he does have Tyler Boyd still. Cards are allowing 287 yards in the air and 25 points a game. Burrow will have to make sure he can stay somewhat healthy, can keep in the pocket, move around a little bit, and realistically, the Bengals have to use Mixon to allow this team to have some success. Now, I'm not expecting Burrow to have a 20-plus point game. I do expect him in that 16 to 18 point, really, point range. I think he's going to get 250 yards, 2 touchdowns in this one. Again, simple, clean game. I do expect him to bounce back. I know he's getting frustrated with everything that's going on, and the Bengals have to win. So I like this one as a nice little sleeper. Another quarterback I have as a sleeper is Justin Fields versus the Commanders. Again, Thursday night, it's always a little tough, and some players just don't show up. I had Fields as a nice start against Denver, a Denver team that really can't stop anyone. So again, this is a really good matchup for him. He had a great game. Plays in a short week. That could be something to be thinking about. But Washington's allowing 244 yards in the air and 23 points to quarterbacks. Fields should be able to get a touchdown in the air on the ground. Again, I expect a pretty good game for him for this week. And at that point, you may want to start talking about selling him high with these 2 weeks in a row. So those are my starts, sits, and sleepers for week 5. If you guys do have questions for your lineup, please hit me up in the comments down below. We'll be glad to help you guys out with those lineup questions. If you guys haven't already, check out our waiver wire video. That's what we're here for, to help you guys with those waivers. And of course, your lineups, trades, and anything else. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and that notification bell is on. And if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. Again, check out our waivers. Stay tuned to the other start and sit videos, and we'll check you guys out next time.